How are we doing today? Alafia to all. We give honor to life. Moremi Ifa Ela, Olodumare Ifa Ela, for bringing us together again this week to be able to connect as one family. Ifa Ela. Last week we talked about jealousy versus brotherhood. First of all, we like to give honor to all brothers out there that stand up with their brothers in all types of weather. Alafia to you. And we give honor to all the sisters that are standing up with all the brothers. Alafia to you all. We give honor to life for making it possible for us to stand together no matter what the situation. And this week, we're gonna go further. What we'll be teaching one another is based on jealousy versus siblings. By the sound of what I just said, jealousy versus siblings, I am wondering what is running through your mind right now. Because for me, I'm like, this is a very sensitive area to somewhat decided to look at. But we have to hold on to the energy of life that is our strength to continue to forge ahead, even when we think, this is sensitive. On that note, let's look at planet Earth as one family, like a meeting spot for all of us as one family. Let's think of planet Earth in that line of thought. And I would like to use myself as an example. Briefly, I will just say a little story of my life growing up with my siblings. I came from a polygamous family with 4 wives, and with my moremi, meaning my muda, I create. We were 4, and I am the youngest. 2 girls, third to the last, and then 2 boys, front, and then middle. Didn't have a clue what jealousy is, or if jealousy even exists. And obviously, by mentioning of a polygamous family, you know automatically that's a breeding ground for spirits of jealousy. And that's not even relevant, because even if it's family of 2, just husband and a wife, a spirit of jealousy still lurks around. But a polygamous family just makes it more worse, if I may use the word. But so automatically with the different wives, everyone automatically think of themselves to be entitled to be jealous. So people relate to one another from spirit of jealousy aspect of things. But us as children, we really don't have a clue what that is. At least I know that I don't have a clue what spirit jealousy is. And my moremi, my muda, meaning mother, I don't like to use it. I don't like things that sound the same and kind of hurt one another. So I will use moremi instead of saying mother. So when I say moremi, I mean muda. I create life. So so between the 4 of us, we were brought up with love. Very clear, it was love. And didn't think anything like that exists. Then as we grow up, particularly when every one of us grow up and we have our own personal life. My youngest days was not spending in Africa that much. I grew up. I know about life, what life really is when I arrived in England. And so when I go home on holiday, the reception that I get from my older ones was very shocking. I don't even know what that is, and I never even bother to talk about it with my Morimi. My sister, when we were by herself, when we were together alone, one occasion, she looked at me bad. Like she just wished I would just disappear. That's what that look was. I was shocked. I'm not sure I've ever even spoken about this with her. It was a shock. I didn't think it was spirits of jealousy. What do I care? I just knew, why did she look at me like that? That was off. Nobody looks at anybody that way. I left it. I never thought anything about it. Then with the oldest brother of mine, same thing happened. We found ourselves alone, like on a pathway. It was coming, and I was kind of going, and we met by the door saw me, and the look was just the same as my older sister. I'm like, what? However, I still didn't talk about it. Now, the youngest son, which is the second to the last, which I'm the youngest, and it was the only person that never really looked at me in this crazy manner. And since when we were growing up as children, I was drawn to him. Like, really drawn to him. It's like we connect. Like we come from the same, we just connect like that. And we never had any problem. But the other two, it was major. The funny thing is, when he got married, then the spirit of jealousy become a major issue between him and myself. And the connection that we have, the love that we have, meaning understanding, the understanding become non-existent. I guess his wife came between us for some reason that I don't know. I never even thought of it until today when I was about to do this program. That, wow, where was that connection I have with him? That really, it was his wife that brought that spirit of jealousy to the surface that seems to have never existed between us. Ordinarily, I know what you're thinking, oh, there's no spirit of jealousy in my family. My sister is not jealous of me. Why should she? My brother is not jealous of me. That's not even possible. He loves me. He understands me. He wants me about boys to be careful, about boys because they tell lies a lot. My mom, definitely, she's not jealous of me. It's not even possible for my daughter to be jealous of me. We're friends. We communicate real good. Are you really sure? Whether we like it or not, spirits of jealousy is in every family. And it is also clear that it's not our fault that we're jealous of each other. It's that thing called spirit of jealousy that lurks around within the family. Now, it would be our fault if we don't stand up against spirit of jealousy and say, there's no space for you anymore in our lives. Spirit of jealousy is not God created. And anything that living God, everlasting living God does not create will not have a room in our midst, in our planet, because it is a new day. I honor the new day. What do you want to do? Are you going to honor the new day or not? It is simple. It is straightforward. It's either you're your brother's keeper or you're not. Money. What is it that money cannot buy? And why does money make siblings to become rivalry to one another instead of a comforter, instead of a supporter to one another? It's because spirit of jealousy don't joke. And spirit of jealousy is not funny. Spirit of jealousy is very sneaky, very cunning, very smart. And what does spirit of jealousy use? To con people? The paper money. When a person is so focused on I've got to be rich, I've got to be rich, I've got to be wealthy, I've got to be important than everybody else. I've got to be the one person everybody comes to bow to be able to eat or to be able to have a decent life. That breeds jealousy within a family. Because everybody, naturally, money is the basic thing that every one of us must have, is a necessity. Our approach to money must not involve spirits of jealousy. Because when a person is so focused on money and other stuffs other than the everlasting God, then money will begin to create spirit of jealousy in that person. And that person will begin to just simply get more greedy for no reason. It's the spirit of jealousy. And that will cause that person's siblings to suffer. Because one rich person in the midst of 10 people, naturally by the principle of life, they are all lacks. And there's no lack in our life. We need to remove the word lack and replace it with are. So that we know that we're all archangels, meaning people whom eye of God, whom the strong arms of God is watching over, is holding up. I don't care whatever family you have to know that spirit of jealousy is being embedded in that family, and you have to sit together and begin to look at it and begin to talk about it. Shout, spirit of jealousy. Shout against spirit of jealousy. Say spirit of jealousy, get out of our family. We're not going to function the spirit of jealousy in our midst. If every one of us have everything we need in our own space, that makes us people that are hugging the planet with honor, because every one of us is being given something special to hug the planet with. Now, when one person within a family wants to have it all and begin to harass the rest of the sibling with that is that's not acceptable. Principle of the universe says no to that, because it is not working. We are all born with a purpose. If there's such thing, if there is such thing as sin, which personally I don't really approve of that word, sin. It depends how you look at stuff. Every one of us has to start life from somewhere. Now the destination is with God, and the destination is bound to be great. Where we started from might not necessarily be great. Does that mean somebody should tag that as or brand that as sin? If that's sin, when does a person become sin-free then? It's about living life. You come from a past and you're going forward to a beautiful place. Now, you don't know then, now you know. So you reform, you renew, you make life better for yourself and everybody around you. So please let not be too overtaking or covered up with spirit of jealousy that is called paper money. Paper money is not going to build our nation called planet Earth. It's going to take more than that for the planet Earth to nurture us the way it has been written by the principle of life. As I said earlier, money is the basic thing that a person can have. ask yourself, what about everything else that money cannot buy? Have you ever sat down and asked yourself? Because I've ordinarily hear people say it's all about money. After money is still money. Somehow I find it impossible to agree with that. Because when you're someone who has been put in a position whereby you know what hard work is, and you've been able to know how to accumulate money, and then you find yourself in a position whereby universe is saying to you that is not the first step. Every one of us who is Moremi Fila's children, meaning people who know in their heart they're interested to honor the planet, we know certainly that paper money is not where to start. Because if paper money is the answer, Africa will have become one of the greatest countries in the planet today. And we realize, I'm sure there's lots of people out there who have realized exactly the same thing, that we are the nation builder of planet Earth called Africa. And as that nation builder, what we need to begin to ask ourselves is, where does the paper money come from? Our first step should be from the source, because we are the people from the source. Paper money is not the answer. If it is, then paper money is definitely not the only answer that's going to build a nation called Africa, planet Earth. Therefore, we need to ask ourselves, money is good. However, what about everything else that money cannot buy? What money cannot buy is becoming your brother's keeper in the face of whatever the weather is saying. And knowing that as nation builders, we need to get rid of spirits of jealousy in our midst. That way we can actually connect with the energy of life called Ifa Ela, Morimi, Olodo Morimi, Ifa Ela, clarity of life, energy of life. That's what we should all connect with, and we can't get rid of spirit of jealousy by might, but the energy of life that knows about everything else that we don't even know will remove spirit of jealousy from us and keep every one of us standing in our light, in our own specific giving spot or position or space to honor the planet individually and together. That way we will be able to build a legacy that is everlasting for our children. Paper money, we know it with clarity now, is not going to build legacy for our generations. Let's ask ourselves, when you're by yourself, just begin to think. Ask yourself questions, because if you don't ask yourself questions, there's no way you're going to have answer. Ask yourself questions within yourself, from your heart. Your innate God, your everlasting living God that nobody else have access to except yourself, will begin to give you an answer. What exactly is it that spirit of jealousy cannot give you? As I said earlier, spirit of jealousy cannot help me to support my siblings to a greater height. Spirit of jealousy cannot help me to leave an everlasting legacy for my children and my siblings' children and the generations. Because ancestors is more than a desire, it's what is written. Every one of us must be elevated. That is saying loudly that our ancestors are honored because they live only for one thing, to honor us and to make everything work according to the writings of the everlasting God that creates heaven and earth, called planet Africa, planet world, four corners of the universe, and the center is all Africa. It means oneness of all. Why does three brothers have to, three siblings if you like, stand up against well-being of Africa? Planet universe, planet earth is saying no to those three siblings that make it their lifelong, everyday work for Africa not to stand up. Because if Africa is not standing up, then the planet Earth, what's going to happen to planet Earth? Because planet Earth is screaming out, meaning ancestor, that Africa must stand, because it's like a pole, four pillars that holds planet Earth as one in the center and create a straight path. I saw it as clear as day. Everybody has been given their own specific task on this planet Earth. Africa has a task as well that must be upheld. And that's the reason today everybody's asking questions. Every siblings are asking questions. Why are we not upholding each other as siblings in Africa? We function on spirit of jealousy. It is crazy. And now that we start to ask questions and talk about spirit of jealousy, at least we knew that which is lurking in our family. So we can say, no, everlasting strong arms of God has removed you from our midst, spirit of jealousy. We're standing up together as siblings, as planet Earth, we're standing up together as siblings. To say no to spirit of jealousy, because we knew without a doubt when spirit of jealousy is no more, we wouldn't have any reason to take from our sister what she was born with, our own glory that she needs to honor the planet Earth with. That's why planet Earth put it there. Why must a brother have to say, she is young, what does she know? She's just a girl. I will be able to use that which is our talent or our purpose or our glory for myself. If she don't know, it won't hurt her. And spirit of jealousy has another capability that people don't know. Very sneaky, very cunning, very smart, even have those that it consults to steal from other people. Siblings, let's stand together. And the siblings I'm talking about here is planet Earth siblings. Planet Earth is our family, is our meeting spot that we should all stand up in favor of. No more three brothers fighting against Africa not to stand up. Africa has always been standing up. Without Africa standing up, the three brothers couldn't even stand in the first place. But without the four arms of everlasting God, which is the pillar of the planet and the center and straight part holding even the three brothers up, If the three brothers refuse to hold Africa up, strong arms of God is already doing that. So siblings, let go of the spirit of jealousy. It is not God-made. And what God did not make cannot stand. No more spirit of jealousy on this planet Earth. We are all one family. There's nothing to hide anymore but to come clean, holding up your lights. That's the only reason why I'm sitting here talking now. I'm just holding up my lights, and nobody can fault me for that. I just want my children to have a life that is written concerning them, to be able to honor planet Earth. It's time we stop honoring man. Because it seems to me, I know it's difficult for me to say, but I have to, that man does not honor God. Because if you honor God, planet will know. Because planet is pouring honor unto us, grace, purpose. Yet the three brothers just want to take it all, and everybody else is suffer. It means you don't honor the planet, you don't honor God. How do you expect in the long run, even on the short run, that planet will honor you any longer? Alafia to all. Because we're very clear now that spirit of jealousy can in the ace give us a temporary wealth. But because it's a mere mechanical, it is man-made. It does not have a capability to give us a longevity of wealth that will create everlasting legacy. And it is for that reason that I will say we should ask ourselves, how do we get rid of spirits of jealousy? On a serious note, spirit of jealousy is not something you say to yourself, I'm going to get rid of you. I'm going to get rid of you now. You don't have hold on me. You can't tell me what to do, especially now that I know you're in my family. You're just going to have to go. No, that's not how it works. Spirit of jealousy know that you're going to say that anyway. And it makes itself ready to continue running rampage all over the world. To steal. To trick people. With paper money. With bling bling. How do we get rid of jealousy on a serious note? I guess getting rid of jealousy is easier said than done. But with God, Olodumare Ifa Ela, the light of the world, we can't get rid of jealousy as long as we hold that light, the energy of life that has been given to us, as long as we hold it up. Spirits of jealousy do not like light. So when each one of us hold up our lights and we stand up together, it's like alignment with the stars. It's like birds flying together, and each one of them are not disturbing the other person, are not doing any harm to the other person, are not putting the other person in jail, are not killing the other person, are not harassing the other person. We're just standing in alignment with the light of life. How do we precisely do that? You have to say to yourself, okay, this is easier said than done. You say to yourself, well, I can, with Ifa Ela, the light of the world, Olodumare Ifa Ela, the light of the world, I can manage spirit of jealousy Then the next step will be, first of all, you have to hold up your light, which is Olodomare Ifa Ela. That's your light that is in you, that is holding you up. You must hold her up as well. It goes both ways. That's how you hold up your light. And then the next step is, I will manage spirit of jealousy. See, we've gone a step further from there. I will manage spirit of jealousy. How do I manage spirit of jealousy? You have to know what the face of spirit of jealousy looks like in your family. Do not pretend it's not there. Say to yourself, it's there. Now, what does the face of spirit of jealousy looks like? It looks like the face of my sister. When she looks at me, so funny. Just when we're by herself, bitter, angry, furious, and she didn't communicate what was wrong with her. For some reason, the look was so out, it was off. I couldn't even ask, why did you look at me like that? It was that bad. Don't act like me. Ask immediately. Why do you look at me like that? Have I offended you or wronged you in any way? Or are you hurting that you think maybe I can support you or help? Or am I responsible for your hurt that I didn't know? Speak to me. Hold her. Hug her. I'm not going to get emotional. It's not surprising when we're talking about family, we get emotional. Because in my heart, I know my sister loves me. You know how I know? Because I love her. Somehow, she just don't have a clue how much I love her. Why? Because of the spirit of jealousy, the practices of the world that is not of God. But they lie to us. It's God they are worshiping. How can you be warring against God? That's what worshiping is. Honor God instead. So that spirit of jealousy will not be disturbing siblings that are supposed to support each other and stand together. I didn't hug her that day when she looks at me funny. I guess it just wasn't time. But I gave honor to life that it is time now. Because I'm sure she knows better now, the same way as I know better. I was supposed to hug her that day and ask her what is wrong, but I didn't. I just don't know why I didn't. In Africa, we don't really hug each other that much. We function innately with one another until we realize, oh my God, something is in the family, spirit of jealousy. Prior to that time, we function like that innately. We just know we love each other. We don't hug a lot, but we love each other. They do all these kneeling down, things like that, which is another problem that is keeping Africa down. When you're busy kneeling down, the grace of God is already holding you up, like you're supposed to stand up to be able to receive it. When your sister looks at you funny, whether jokingly or in any fashion, please speak to her. Don't bury, don't let it go. Talk about it immediately. Same thing with my brother when I felt, why did he look at me like that? Why did he even speak to me that way? That's not how he would normally speak to me. I didn't ask. Communicate. Ooh. You look at me like that, that must be this face of the spirit of jealousy. That I knew. You know I love you and I know you love me. Hug me. Now tell me what is wrong. In my family now, we hug each other like crazy. And that's how we drink water. We just hug each other anyways. Instead of kneeling down, crawling all over the place. For what purpose and to what avail has that afford us as people of light? We're supposed to be standing up together and holding up our lives together and be communicating. And as in Africa, lifestyle culture are so fond of putting the children down. You're too young. Don't talk yet. Shut up. That's what they say all the time. But you know what's amazing? My father never treated me that way. Isn't it strange to say that? A typical African man that everybody comes to for guidance. He never puts me down. I remember a situation where all elders gathered, they were talking, and he said they should go and look for me. As a child, maybe on 10 or something, just playing with sand. He said, go and fetch her for me. And then he asked me to sit down, and he said, what do you think about the communication that we're all discussing here? What is your opinion about the issue? I carried that with me all my life because he was trying to communicate with me who I am. Elders don't do that enough in our community. Children are the ones that hold us up. We must hold them up without compromise. Tell them we love them, tell them they're special, tell them to let us know their opinions. That's how I raised up my 3 sisters. They've always been a light in my life. I always say, what do you think about this? Ifa Ela raised up my sisters with me. I wouldn't have the audacity to say that I raised them up by myself, because that would be foolish. It's the strong arms of everlasting God that raised the 4 of us up as one. And take it as I said, it's been a very long time. It is to the grace of God upon me that we're still here. We give honor to life in every ways, and honor to all the time, because we keep all our honors as well. As siblings of planet Earth, every family should begin to do the same. Also know what the spirit of jealousy sounds like. If it doesn't sound good, if your sister speaks to you and it doesn't sound good, that means it doesn't sound good. Talk about it. That's another way of getting rid of jealousy within our family. So we won't have to deal with jealousy versus siblings anymore. We will just be siblings standing up together, supporting each other, building our nation called planet Earth, Africa, 4 corners of the universe, and the center. Straight path forever. Alafia. Spirit of jealousy knows how to smell greatness. So immediately you see somebody that is very cunning and trickery and playing up on your goodness as a weakness. Know that, can't see the light of God that I am, definitely, but can smell it. Quickly move away. Let the arms of God protect you from the smell of the spirit of jealousy. Alafia, so that you can smell the scent of everlasting light of God that is in you, that surrounds you. Ella, surround all of us with energy of life forever. Alafia. We all know it's our tradition, our culture, Asha. Alafia in Ifa Ela ministry, to honor all the ancestors before man, now and forever. And we're honoring all generations before man, now and forever. We give honor to energy of life that's keeping the planet and everything in it. Ela, we honor energy. Ela, we honor energy of life. We honor energy of clarity in every space, all the time. We celebrate all energy of life in every space, all the time. Alafia. Let's all put our hands together as one siblings of planet Earth and do our ibadah, meaning praise. We give all honor and praise to Olódùmarè, Ifa Ela, energy, light of life that is beyond the light that we use for cooking, that is beyond the clarity that all the waters of the universe gives us. The creator of heaven and earth, the creator of everything, we give honor to you. And we thank you with all honor that you embrace us with everlasting honor in return. And you keep us keeping on in all types of weather. We thank you, we praise you, we honor you. Olódùmarè, Ifa Ela, Ore Ayo, Alafia upon the planet and everything in it. And we keep all our Ore Ayo, Alafia upon us. Yesterday, today, tomorrow, and forever. Alafia. The instruction of the week. The instruction of the week today, for me personally, is the most important part of the topic that we discussed today, because it's a gift from everlasting God onto the planet and all the siblings. Black and white, that's where all colors begins and renew and reforms and continuance of life. The rest of colors are simply the way in which we connect to the colors of the rainbow. Ifa Ela. So therefore, everybody's black and white. I speak of color from the aspect of energy of life. And we cannot use color to steal from one another anymore. Next week, I have clarity more in Ifa Ela will keep us beyond next week, and we can be able to teach each other about that energy of life called black and white, or Ifa Ela. Olódùmarè Ela. Alafia. God is in all of us, watching over every one of us. A simple way to connect to that God is the energy of life called black and white. The eyes of God watches over all of us through She, the sun and the moon. We cannot know everything about this God. In the process of trying to keep digging to know everything about this God, we will end up destroying the key fabrics of life. And then, what are we going to be left with? What we need to begin to connect with and teach each other with is how to honor the planet. Because the planet has always been honoring us. And we can do this by standing up together as siblings for the planet Earth. Keep it together and hold up your lights. Don't forget. Talk about it. No more spirit of jealousy in our family. We're one siblings, standing together as one to up the universe with honor, because the universe has always been hugging us with honor. You're beautiful.